Clouds, hazy sun with afternoon showers developing on Thursday. Good Wednesday night, East Tennessee. David Aldrich, Captain Accurate here from the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. Well, we hit 88 degrees today as expected. We saw a high of 88 in Oak Ridge and Morristown, but it was 90 in Sevierville at the Gatlinburg Pigeon Forge Airport right next to the LeConte Center, 85 in Tellico Plains, and 81 today in Crossville in the heart of Cumberland County. You take a look at the almanac, we were 4 degrees above average, 88 versus 84, the record high 96 set back in 1925. And we started the morning off at a cool 57, but it's been cooler the last couple of mornings. We've had some lows in the lower 50s, so this was actually a little bit milder, as it were. Meanwhile, the clouds, loosely associated with Francine, are beginning to advance from the south. Think of tonight as a partly to mostly cloudy sky. You can see a few showers developing south of Atlanta, Georgia, and a few that are trying to move up just well south of Tupelo on this particular map. Now, as far as the wind advisories, this comes by way of our friends at the National Weather Service in Morristown. They have issued a wind advisory that commences, it starts at 4 o'clock tomorrow, Thursday, to 11 a.m. on Friday for gusts up to 55 miles per hour. So if you happen to be driving through the Smokies, it's 2 hands on the steering wheel, as this is all related to the higher elevations, and those southeast winds will be pretty brisk. So take that into consideration. That could take some power out as well. Meanwhile, the ultimate Doppler radar not showing any rain at this time, but we think tomorrow afternoon there will be some opportunities. By the way, the ultimate Doppler radar presented by Marco's Pizza. If you're hungry for a late night snack, maybe you need some dinner, check out marcos.com. They've got locations in Hardin Valley and Farragut, Maryville, Fountain City, Halls, Oak Ridge, Middlebrook Pike, and Ebenezer Road. They've got a great, magnificent pepperoni pizza for less than $10 they call the Magnifico. And the new Pozzoli I'm a big fan of for a lunch item. The pepperoni and sausage pictured at the top is my absolute favorite. Check it out at marcos.com. The radar, very quiet as you can see in Tennessee, but with all those brown shaded areas, yeah, we've got some wind concern there, and even some what looks like flood concerns in green. Yeah, we've got a flood watch in parts of Mississippi running till 1 o'clock tomorrow, it appears, on the 12th. But that's what they're going to be dealing with on Thursday. Meanwhile, to the north, pretty quiet across the Great Lakes, and to the south, clearly there's Francine. This was a Category 2 hurricane, maybe weakening a little bit as it moves over land, but we'll look at the specifics here in just a mere moment. I noticed that winds are down to 85 as of the 8 o'clock update, or 7 o'clock central, with life-threatening storm surge, hurricane force winds, and of course heavy rains. And it's about 20 miles east-southeast of Morgan City. So the latest update, with this about 55 miles west-southwest of New Orleans, is now a Category 1. So it's weakened a bit from its Category 2 status. Moving over land, it will weaken rapidly. This is projected to be 1 o'clock in the morning Thursday, with 65-mile-an-hour winds just well south of Jackson, Mississippi. And by the time it approaches Memphis, it should be down to about 35-mile-an-hour winds around the core, or around the Big D there for depression. It moves over toward Memphis, winds 35 to 25, and it basically falls apart in dances in place. And that means we're going to benefit with some rains coming up from the south, and eventually get in on some rains coming in from the east. But the wave heights, boy, are they coming up high. We're looking at 10 feet, 13, 14, 15, 16-foot waves now crashing into the southern shores of Louisiana. Meanwhile, the tornado threat continues in the orange areas. That would suggest several tornadoes or spin-ups may occur from Mobile back toward Tallahassee, and some few in yellow. Don't know if you had heard, but the Weather Service, Hurricane Center to be precise, issued a new storm, a tropical depression, number 7. This will likely get the name Gordon, because Gordon is the next name on the list. You can see it's moving out in the middle of the Atlantic and may not even cause a problem for land. But you'll notice by the time we hit, Monday, it's still in the middle of the Atlantic. So how is it you, Captain Accurate, are calling for a storm off the coast of the Carolinas? That's because I'm not even looking at this one. If this is Gordon, then the possibility of Helene, which is the next named storm after this one, may actually be named in the coming hours or days. We'll keep an eye on that, because Francine we can cross off. Gordon, probably tropical depression number 7. But that means Helene is the next name on the list. And if we continue on this path, we could be checking off Isaac, Joyce, and Kirk in the coming days and weeks. They've got now a new patch of color. That wasn't there last night. It wasn't even there this morning. Off the coast of North Carolina and South Carolina is a 30% chance that this becomes a named storm. We've got a 20% chance for some others out there near the Lesser Antilles. I don't think that's a big issue. And the one in the Pacific, we're not too concerned about. But certainly that chance of a named storm could be Helene. And if it doesn't get a name, it's going to be a highly disruptive weather pattern for those that might be headed to the Carolinas. That enough. I know that we've passed the 10th of September. Today's September 11th, and it trends downward from this point forward. But this is a very active time of year where hurricanes and tropical storms tend to thrive based on history. And you can see some of the heavy rains that continue across parts of Mississippi, 3, 4, 5, 6 inches or more. But notice off the coast of North Carolina is another patch of red and purple, suggesting heavy rains. So could that be, might that be, Helene? Could Helene be the next storm, named storm? And I did circle this for your benefit a couple of hours ago on Facebook because we are going to have many chances for rain over the next couple of days, over the next 7 days. And one area comes up from the south, which would be the remnants of Francine, but there's also one from the east. And if you need more evidence, look at the circle here. Look how it just sits there and spins, and then eventually it moves in from the east. So we will have more opportunities for rain, and maybe it's heavier in the Tri-Cities versus maybe at Plateau. Plateau might be receiving far less over time. Let me show you what some of the models suggest by tomorrow evening. Many of us may have picked up a third of an inch, maybe down toward Athens, but you're closing in on maybe a tenth of an inch in Knoxville by 7 o'clock Thursday. We move into Friday. I'm thinking about high school football games. There will be some scattered showers about. And of course, the big football game for Vols, taking on Kent State. I've got that forecast. I would think the trend right now is somewhere in that half inch to 3/4. Half inch to 3/4 by the time we get to about 11 o'clock. Well, that's the game time, 7:45. 7:45 to 11, I think most of us will have had at least a half inch of rain or the opportunity to pick that up from the remnants of Francine. By the way, speaking of Houdini Francine, she's going to blow this smoke that's in the air from wildfires out to back to Canada. Go back to Canada from whence you came. There it goes. You can see the spin, the arrows. It actually, like a swizzle stick, clears out the atmosphere for us in a good way. So if you are sensitive to smoke, much of the wildfire smoke from all sorts of places will be trending northeast and northwestward of us, keeping it out of harm's way. For us, it's good. Kent State, Tennessee, go Big Orange. They're 0-2. We're, of course, 2-0. Top 10 material, number 7, I think we're ranked, maybe even higher. But kickoff, 71. Halftime 69, I got a 67. End of the fourth quarter, mostly cloudy, 40% chance of showers and storms. So let's summarize it up. Headlines, afternoon showers develop tomorrow. Francine will weaken over land. We're seeing that already take place. And could we, might we, is it possible we could get another tropical storm named Helene off the coast of the Carolinas? I think it is a distinct possibility. Heavy rains are anticipated. Storm Prediction Center talking about some color. We've already focused the severe weather threat in the Gulf. This would affect maybe the panhandle of Florida, but there's also severe weather potentially in Montana, for example. But Tallahassee, Dothan, Montgomery, Birmingham, all associated with Francine, and it looks like it moves into south middle Tennessee during the course of tomorrow. No real thunder threat here. I think a couple of showers possible, maybe back to the plateau. And they've added some extra color to cover themselves, I guess, for Atlanta, because Atlanta, heavily populated area, might get some isolated severe storms on Friday, but it looks like it's dropping and stopping short of our doorstep in on Friday itself. Some general thunderstorms anticipated here. I've left it now a 40% chance of storms on Friday, 60% by day Saturday, but Saturday night back to 40%. Now the Futurecast shows the spin associated with Francine. You can see why there's so heavy rains over Mississippi, but they'll spin in here like so for the afternoon, and it may look like this for the drive home. You might say, hey, I got to use my wipers. I didn't realize this. So give yourself some extra time if you have to get out of work early or stay late. Some of these showers will spin in and spin out. By 7 o'clock Friday morning, we still have some pop-up showers. It's not everywhere, and they're widely scattered as this low essentially dances in place and kind of lingers across the area on Saturday. I stopped it, I think, right over to game time. Most of it's pushing westward again. So we've got a big area of high pressure over the mid-Atlantic, and it's pushing some of this remnants of Francine to the west. So it's going from east to west, and it opens the door for a new storm to form by Sunday, Monday. Tonight, we're down to 60. It's my expectation. Partly to mostly cloudy with some light winds, light and variable. Then tonight we're down to 58 Morristown, Seymour 59, Sevierville 58, Kingston, Rockwood at 60. Tomorrow look for a high of only 81. So that would actually be 7 degrees cooler than it was today. As my PM showers develop, probably went a little long on my text line there, but winds pick up 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, 79 for Morristown, 79 for Oak Ridge. So many of us in the upper 70s tomorrow, but our friends in Crossville may struggle to get out of the 73 range, so it's going to vary quite a bit, a lot cooler of a day with the excess of high clouds advancing. By the way, as we take a look at the Captain Accurate weather app, if you haven't downloaded, it's free. Pete Michaels' traffic is on there, so you get weather and traffic perfect together. Check it out. I think you'll be impressed. You get so many extra goodies on the app, in addition to all the National Weather Service alerts. Here's the Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast for Knoxville, East Tennessee. It got us at 84 Friday. Another chance of rain at 40%, 60% on Saturday, but 40, he says, at night. What's the difference? Once the sun goes down, we lose our heat source. I think the chance of these storms will begin to subside. It won't disappear entirely, but a lot of it will begin to fade away by Saturday evening for the ball game. Sunday, 81, a few showers, maybe a few storms, but then we're going to be watching eastward as a new storm system from Monday, especially Tuesday, and into early Wednesday for the possibility of more rain. I think some of us are probably applauding or hoping for, praying for more rain as we've been pretty dry across East Tennessee. Well, my name is David Aldrich. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate. We'll see you here next time, and I'll be live streaming again tomorrow at 6:40 a.m. on Facebook, so check it out. Take care.